Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the Friday Night Mega Mirror Special. On the show this week, we have another fabulous creator whose channel is on the rise. He's the only creator I know who can take a simple fermented milk product and turn it into a flat-smacking, conspiracy-crushing brick. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking with Mr. Sensible. So grab a few bottles of your favorite wine because we are going to be serving up some amazing cheese when we come back. And we're back. For those of you just joining us, today we are speaking with a creator who is a true gentleman and a scholar, and who has really taken off lately. The cheese man himself, Mr. Sensible. I've been waiting for this one, so let's bring him on. Hello, Mr. Sensible, and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Mr. Steaming Cup of Reason, or may I say Spike, thank you so much for inviting me here today for your Friday Night Mega Mirror. I really appreciate it. I was quite surprised to be asked. Wonderful. And can I just take this opportunity also to say that all the talk I've heard around on the various Discord servers and so on, mentioning the Mega Mirror, is what a great format everyone thinks this is. So kudos to you for creating this. Good stuff, man. And I'm glad to be here.
I'm truly pleased to have you on the show today. I love your channel and I really enjoyed our chat on your recent live stream. I'd like to begin by asking the question I always start with. How did you get started on YouTube, and what is your channel all about?
I guess the idea of my channel actually started quite a long time ago. I'm the subscriber and long-term follower of Thunderfoot. That's all one word, 00 in the foot link there. He's a great guy and worth checking out. He is a nuclear physicist that was doxed, and he has got a brilliant series called Why Do People Laugh at Creationists? I think it's about 50 odd episodes long, and he would pull these ridiculous theories to bits. It was great fun, seeing all this stupidity just destroyed and stamped on. And I sort of wanted to do the same. Now, I'm not a trained nuclear physicist. I'm not a scientist at all. There's lots of other people on here like, Simon Dan, AB Science and so on, that can tackle this stupidity at the full-on intellectual level with the knowledge that they have. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. So I decided to take them on via a different front, attack them in their stupidity. I've got a quirky British sense of humour, which seems to go down well as well. And putting the two together, this is what I came up with. I created the channel back last December, but life got in the way. Mainly I was doing chores for Mrs. Sensible, who's quite terrifying. So it got delayed before I finally started. And now, I think about 3 months ago, 2 to 3 months ago, that's all, I launched as Mr. Sensible. So far, I've been having a great time doing it. I've met some great people. It's a really good community. And I've been getting some good feedback, which encourages me to carry on. So there we are, really.
That's very interesting. What's also interesting is the rate at which your channel has grown recently. Can you tell us how you feel about it? And what are your plans for the short-term push to 1,000 subscriber milestone?
Well, every day, checking the number of subs is a little bit of treasure for me. I've been amazed how the channel has grown. I shot past my 500 subscriber count, blowing my 500 sub special plan straight out the water, but that's a nice problem to have. I'm slowly working towards, and I'm going to be challenging soon, PewDiePie. I think he's got about 93 million, so the current plan is to overtake him by the end of next month. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm constantly on the lookout for other idiots to attack, and with the support of Mrs. Sensible, I'm sure I'll succeed. I've also brought on board Arnold, my cat, slayer of flurfs. He'll appear time to time, and the plan is to have him kill them in variously mildly amusing ways. 1,000 subs, I don't know exactly when that will be. Probably a little faster than I expect. Every one of them I really value, and my patrons as well. I've got 3 of those so far, and it's just awesome having support people willing to actually put their dollar where their mouth is, if you like, and support me. That's brilliant. So yeah, let's just keep working and see what comes up.
Sounds like you have a good plan. I have personally enjoyed every video you have put out since finding your channel. But the one that really gave me a chuckle and got me hooked was your spoof on receiving your official NASA shill kit. Let's have a look.
Hello, and welcome back to Mr. Sensible. It's only been 3 weeks since I uploaded the first video to this channel, and yesterday I ticked over 100 subscribers, which frankly is gobsmacking. What's more gobsmacking is I've had a look this morning, and it's had to cut that. It's gone up to 124. Absolutely amazing, thank you. Anyway, I really appreciate it. I mean, it's just so hard to... Oh, excuse me a minute, will you? Yeah, thanks. Okay, cheers then. Oh, wow. I've just taken a special delivery I've been looking forward to. A NASA shill manual. Yeah, hold a minute. Oh, hi, it's at the shill department. Yeah, thanks. I've just received my NASA shill manual. Unfortunately, there's only 1 sheet of paper in it. I was expecting some quite detailed instructions. Okay, so I just followed the steps on that sheet. Brilliant, thank you. Okay, step 1. Practice low gravity walking. I think I could do that. G toilet training. For number 2s, take supplied pipework marked B and insert... Gotta be bloody kidding me. For number 1s, use the pipe and insert yourself... Oh, okay. Choose relevant size. Okay, so take pipe and insert. Okay. Flight suit test fitting. Please note how cool it makes you look and how comfy it is. At NASA, we don't want to look like pussies, so if something is scaring you, drop the visor so you can't see it. Then you'll no longer be scared. Probably best just to wear it down. And make sure you can always catch a reflection in the visor, showing the curve of the Earth. At NASA, we make sure all our staff eat really expensive, fancy rations. Please try the supplied ration. Supplied ration. Oh, wow. Vanilla ice cream sandwich. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, that smells nice. We take the ice cream you know and love, and with the power of freeze drying create a yummy new snack, frozen in time yet not frozen in temperature. When you remove the water from ice cream, what do you have? A delicious, crunchy yet creamy sweetness that melts in your mouth, sandwiched between two chocolatey wafer cookies. Oh, that's quite good. Thanks for that, NASA. Congratulations, you're fully trained. Now pose for the obligatory photo. You're now ready for your first shill mission. NASA can bill the government for $16 million. Cue clip of stock video of launch and then apply CGI. Excellent.
12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
Estimates their position as being bearing 332 degrees, distance 5300 yards from expected flight. The command module is stable 2.
Congratulations on the success of your first shill mission. Have a nice day. Love, NASA. Isn't that nice? P.S. This is supposed to be secret. Don't tell anyone you're a shill. Bugger. Okay, guys. I hope you can just keep it quiet, okay? Don't tell anyone. Anyway, I've just had a check and I'm now increased by another 2 subscribers just while making this video this morning, which is fabulous. Thank you so much. Big thanks to 2 channels who have mirrored videos of mine and sent subscribers my way. Logical Troglodyte and AB Science. You are both gentlemen. And for those of you who haven't checked out their channels, I'll put links in the description. Highly recommended. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to YouTube user Surf, SYRPH, who was my 100th subscriber. Cheers. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed something a bit silly and a little bit different in celebration of 100 subscribers. I look forward to seeing you all again when I shall be looking at another flat earther and an idiot idea. Stay sensible.
That was funny. I always get a chuckle out of that one. How many times did you have to stop laughing and start over with this one?
Yeah, that's one of my favourite ones too, Spike. It was just such fun. And I got to try astronaut ice cream. Pretty good stuff, actually. That went down really well. To be honest, I'd never heard of it, but my daughter had recently been to the States and visited NASA. And she brought that back with me. And that was a nice surprise. And it was perfect timing to use in that video. Well, I have a great time making my vids, apart from the 1 or 2 serious ones I did. But for the rest of them, yeah, it's just so much fun. Recording that one, probably the funniest part was the moonwalking in the garden with neighbours watching out the window. What the hell they thought, I do not know. I won't be surprised if they reported me to some form of mental health services, but nothing came of it anyway. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask NASA a question, because I'm sure that they're keeping a close eye on this, to make sure we don't reveal any secrets, of course. Guys, can you please sort something out with my shill money? I'm not sure if the checks are actually arriving and Mrs. Sensible's getting her sticky mitts on them, or if Arnold's tearing them up and using them as kitty litter. I don't know, but if you could do something, maybe a direct bank transfer, that would be great.
Sounds like you had a great time doing it. I guess the next thing I'd like to ask you about is how you came up with the idea of debunking density with cheese, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Oh, Mr. Anthony Riley and his relative density disequilibrium. Well, having watched his experiment, where he used the wrong equipment, a TDS meter, to measure the density, and claimed that adding salt proved that density is a force, I felt I had to debunk that one. And obviously there are people like AB Science and so on who attack this using, high-level maths and design proper experiments that really debunk this crap. I thought, my raison d'etre is to attack these people in stupid and funny ways. I thought, what could I do? What substance can I use which I can change the density of? It just had to be cheese. It's so stupid. Beating someone with cheese. I couldn't think of a better win.
Well, it seems that everyone loves those videos. So let's play a cheesy excerpt from this fun debunking.
Hello again, Mr. Sensible here. I don't know if you've heard, you probably have, but these flat earth rascals have come up with a brand new theory that disproves gravity. Relative density disequilibrium. I think it sounds like a right load of rubbish, but they seem to think it could be the solution to all their problems. So why don't we let them tell us about it? Roll VCR. Seems exciting. Wow, it's Anthony Riley. I'm quite disappointed, really. I put in all that effort to make an exciting start, and we're presented with Sleeping Warrior. Well, I suppose we better give you a chance. So can you present us with a sound, tested theory, Anthony?
Funny you should ask that question.
It's not really funny, Anthony. Come on, what's today's video about?
Today's video will be doing a little bit of science, and we will be observing how we can manipulate the medium by changing the density and create a force. Newton said, where there is an acceleration, a force must be present. Today's video is all about science.
Cool. I really like science.
First, some context from a science denier with a counter to my claims from a recent video of mine. The self-proclaimed physics degree undergraduate makes a claim and gets it totally wrong. Let's consider his words carefully. This guy claims to be a man of science but doesn't know what the cause is in an experiment. Neither does Geo Whisperer.
So he's a physics undergraduate, and you're going to show that he's wrong. Got to see this.
Quality between the density of the egg equal to the density of the medium it's in. But what Nora says is he equates cause with that which one manipulates. Well, your independent variable is the variable that is manipulated by the researcher in an experiment. It is the presumed cause.
Okay, Anthony, we got that. Your independent variable is the variable manipulated by the researcher in an experiment. It is the presumed cause. Won't forget. Well, let's hear first from that physics undergraduate.
Stop. The reason he's talking about this again is because he hasn't mentioned it here, but I think in this experiment, this video, they actually poured the salt in. So I think he's claiming you can change the density of the medium, and therefore that is the cause, or his independent variable is how much salt you've poured in. He hasn't mentioned this, of course, but I think that's actually what he's trying to get at. I mean, I know it seems insane what he's saying here about you have the control over the density, but he actually means that that's because he's been pouring salt into it or not.
Yeah, exactly. You obviously do have the control over the density, but where's the connection from that to density is a force?
Yeah, I mean,
there's
exactly
no causal relation there.
Exactly, he's just gone off wildly into this quantum eraser dogma land where they prefer to live about dependent variables, and so he's just trying to prove forces because there's an effect as a result of changing the independent variable, i.e. the thing that is the cause in his mind. Although, of course, he doesn't like the idea of any cause has more than one factor, because, of course, you've got the density of the liquid, you've got the force of gravity. In other words, there are multiple factors, and he can't cope with that. Like, Nathan doesn't understand that an effect is the result of more than one factor. And
yeah,
so
apparently he doesn't understand that an equation can contain more than two factors.
Yeah. Yes, more than one factor. No,
more than one factor, actually.
Yeah, exactly right.
The independent variable is the part of the experiment that you are manipulating. The dependent variable is the part of the experiment that is affected and that you measure. But I'm not sure if you really understand what you just said. Let's have another look. These are your words based on your definitions that you presented, and I agree that they reflect the definitions. The words have your emphasis. The independent variable must be manipulated. It is the presumed cause. There can only be one independent variable. But now with proper emphasis. The independent variable must be manipulated. It is the presumed cause. There can only be one independent variable. Basically, yes, you manipulate the independent variable, and you could presume that that's likely to cause the effect. It's not definite, though.
Really worth being aware of what it doesn't say is science. It does not say that you can infer additional causes. You cannot substitute in, or introduce, or suggest alternative causes. That would fall outside scientific method, because there's no citations that allow you to do it.
Anthony, you don't just infer alternatives or just suddenly supply other alternative causes, but you do have to make sure that your experiment is properly controlled, because there can be other factors. I'm now going to demolish what you've just said with an experiment with cheese. Come with me now to my secret lab. Okay, what we got here is a simple balance with a little hook at each end that I've made. As you can see, it's balanced. Next, we're going to use some cheese. There's cheese in a bag at each end. It's not quite enough on the one to the right, so let's add a little bit more. Get that in there. I think as near as damn it, that's balanced. Okay, so I don't know how much is in each one. It doesn't matter. They've both got the same density, and they're both pulling their end of the balance down. So, Mr. Riley, your disequilibrium density, well, those are both equal density, so I guess that's why they're balanced. Let's try something. Here's the bag of cheese from the right hand end of the balance. What shall we do with it? I know. Let's increase its density and make it into one solid lump. And there you go. One solid lump of cheese. Let's try and make it even more. So that's now much denser than it was before, and much denser than the cheese at the other end. Let's try it out and see what happens. Here's our balance with the single bag of still grated cheese. Here's our bag of high density cheese. Let's hang it on the other end and see what happens. Just steady it a little, save time. And what do you know? The bag on the right has dense matter in it. The bag on the left has less dense matter. And yet we've got a balance. How can this be, Anthony? If density is the force, why isn't the one on the right pulling itself down harder? I know what you're going to say. Something like, of course this balances because they're the same weight. Yes, and what's weight? Weight is mass times acceleration. I've increased the density, but not the mass. It's the mass times acceleration caused by gravity. There is no such thing as density disequilibrium. It's just mass. The mass of the cheese. In your experiment, the mass and volume of the egg, the mass and volume of the water. You've just been busted by some cheddar cheese. Well, that was sweet, Anthony. Real sweet. But don't take it to heart. I'm sure that even Isaac Newton was challenged by a piece of Roquefort cheese. Well, thank you to everyone, especially my subscribers, for watching Mr. Riley taken down with some cheddar cheese. If you haven't subscribed, I would be really grateful if you would. Just click the little ball in the corner. So that's almost it for today. If you like, just hang on for a bonus bitch slap from Mr. Riley. Otherwise, I'll say goodbye. See you next time. Stay sensible.
That was awesome. Only you could take down a flat earth argument with cheese. Another one that I really enjoyed was your takedown of everyone's favorite flatard, Fouquet Word.
Mr. Fouquet Word. The Prince of Dunning-Kruger. Oh man, his working flat earth map, that was just hilarious.
Well, I think it's only appropriate that we have a look.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And for those of you that are new, please hit the subscribe ball down in the corner. Today though, I'm afraid it might all be over for us globeheads. I'm afraid that Mr. Fouquet Word is going to present to us a working flat earth map. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hello, flat earth researchers, debaters and debunkers.
Oh, hello.
It's often assumed that when we navigate or measure distances on a flat earth compared to a globe, that things should change, but they don't. Observations and distances do not change. It's all a matter of interpretation.
And of course ignoring known distances and geography.
So we'll just have a quick demonstration of this right here.
Oh yes, please. We'd like that.
Here I've got a map. It's a very simple map. All right. And I've got point A on this piece of land here and point B on this piece of land here. And if we measure the distance on this flat surface between the two, it's 9.5 centimeters. Okay, not sure if you can see that, but that's what it is. 9.5 centimeters.
Excellent. Got that.
All right, so let's now get a ball.
Nick?
It's the volleyball. And
No, Nick.
put this piece of paper on here.
But Nick, stop. Stop.
Get our flexible ruler. And measure the distance again on this sphere between A and B.
Just what the bloody hell do you think you're trying to do?
Okay, it's still 9.5 centimeters. So, doesn't matter, flat or spherical. The distances between two locations do not change.
Okay, Nick. Well, you're correct. The shortest point between A and B is a straight line, as shown by your ruler, and a direct line drawn on your little map between A and B. You could lay that line on a sphere and it will be the same distance. The problem is, you're talking about one line. Now, if you added other cities and lands to your map, it wouldn't work. Let's just have a look at the map as you had made it, overlaid on your sphere. Okay, we can see A and B and your 9.5 centimetre journey directly from A to B. That's fine. That route is called a Great Circle Route. It's the most direct route. Now let's say, for instance, instead of going from A to B, you decide to go from B to C, which is your holiday destination, which is just under your right hand. Oh dear, everything seems to be a bit runkled up, doesn't it? Now this problem is the distortion caused by projecting your flat map onto a spherical surface. And of course, in reality, if you take the spherical surface of the Earth and you try to project that onto a flat map, you also get a problem. This is why the Gleason projection map, so beloved of flat earthers, is accurate as a projection, but not accurate if you try to use it to navigate. Because look at the shape of Australia. Look at the shape of South America. The further you get from the pole, the less accurate it is. So here's a challenge for you, Nick. Why don't you rerun your proof using this map that, through the wonders of modern technology, I've created for you. Here's an accurate map of Flatardia. So what I want you to do is to print this map out, or make an equivalent, and measure the distance from A to B, B to C, C to A. Then place that on your basketball. It's got to be snug, and remeasure those distances. There mustn't be any runkles, any folds. See how you get on with that.
It's really all a matter of interpretation.
Not understanding reality, not being able to visualise anything in 3D, ignoring the evidence, and rank stupidity. Fix that for you, Nick.
You can believe it's on a globe.
Thanks very much. I will.
Or you can take it for what it is.
The worst idea since Abraham Lincoln said, "I'm bored. Let's go out and take in a show."
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Nick, for giving us all a laugh. Actually, Nick, I want to give you credit for one thing. From all your videos I've seen, you are unfailingly polite. And that makes a nice change. So thank you for that. And that's meant in all honesty. Well, that's it for today. So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone for joining me here. I'd appreciate any likes, any comments, and if you feel up to it, I would be very grateful if you'd subscribe using the little ball down there. And I look forward to seeing you all again. And until then, stay sensible.
Well, that's about all the time we have. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Is there anything you would like to share with our viewers before we close out?
Well, I think mainly I would like to say a big, big thank you to all the viewers, subscribers and Patreons It means so much to me. And when I see some of those comments, and I do try to read every single comment, so far I'm able to keep up with it. Of course, once I approach and start to overtake PewDiePie, it will become a little difficult. But when I see the good comments, it makes me feel good and makes me realise that something I've done has struck a chord or entertained people, and that makes it all worth it. Coming up, the Conspiratard Cheese Awards. They'll be out early September. The voting is still open, so please, if you haven't already, have a look at the Conspiratard Cheese Award nomination show and then submit your anonymous vote. I have a secret special guest who is also making a nomination, has made a nomination and is one of those that you're voting on, and they will be appearing on the show. Since I'm NASA SHIELD trained, I can keep a secret, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. As for my regular output, I try and do as many videos as I can. Occasionally work gets in the way. Occasionally I have a few days off and I can film a spate of them. I'm also doing my impromptu live chats, which you've been on, Spike. That's great fun. It's nice to talk to people. I want to make it a welcoming place. I want to have chats with flat earthers as well, if they will come on. And if any of you guys watching this today want to take part, just have a look at one of my previous live chats. The Discord server link is on there. Send me a message and I can grant you permission so that when I next do a live, you can come on and join in. That'd be great to see more people. Aside from that, I keep looking at cheese. I actually did have another experiment which didn't turn out too well. There's a way of proving the speed of light using a microwave and chocolate. I tried it with a microwave and cheese and I just made a god-awful mess and got into trouble with Mrs. Sensible, but there we go. The things I do for you. And we'll just see what comes up.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for being here this evening. I'm really looking forward to your next video, or perhaps another pleasurable chat on your next live stream.
Spike, it will be great to have you back on the live chat again. Thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. I have really enjoyed it. It's been a great pleasure. I'd like to wish you well with your channel and this Mega Mirror format. All you out there, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it now. Until I see you all again, hopefully on my channel, hopefully as subscribers, stay sensible.
And that about wraps it up for this week. We hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of the Friday Night Mega Mirror Special featuring Mr. Sensible. If you haven't been to his channel yet, please take a moment to visit. I'm certain you will enjoy it. Also, please take a moment to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed tonight's show. And remember to hit the bell for notifications of new content as it is posted. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, this is Spike signing off. See ya!